Hello, everyone. It's really late today on Thursday, so I'm late bringing you the tip of the week. It's tip of the week Thursday, and I've had a crazy busy morning. I've spent a lot of time at the post office mailing copies of my brand new Hay House book to several people who've been ordering copies. The book is not yet up on Amazon, so I have been physically mailing copies out. It's been wildly exciting to do so, but that also means a ton of time. Um, so I haven't had a chance to come and do this live for you. So, tip of the week Thursday. What do we have today for you? Today's question is, how do you deal with a situation or a person when you're triggered? Does this happen to you? Do you feel triggered? Well, if you are human, as we all are, you will be triggered and you will continue to be triggered by new situations and new people because we are constantly growing, changing, evolving. So, what do you do when you are triggered? I'm going to talk about the three common mistakes we make when we are triggered, and then I'll also talk about the three things you can do when you are triggered. So, let's first address the three common mistakes. The first mistake we make when we are triggered is we avoid people and situations who trigger us. We don't like hanging around with people who push our buttons, right? We say, I don't like being around this person. She complains all the time, or she plays the victim, or she just makes me mad. And so we typically move away. We avoid people and situations that trigger us. That's mistake number one. And I'll get to why it's a mistake. It's a mistake in a moment. Number two, we dislike anything that is different from what we know, right? Whether it's a type of food that we don't really think we like, we haven't tasted it before. It could be a culture, a certain kind of person, the way somebody dresses. We have all kinds of things. Anything that we don't know, we regard with a certain amount of suspicion, maybe, or discomfort. So that's mistake number two, disliking anything that is different from what we know. Mistake number three is we hang out with like minded people and engage in the same conversations over and over again. Now, why are these three mistakes when it comes to triggers? They are mistakes because, guess what? If you are hanging out with people you like, in situations that are comfortable for you, always doing what is familiar, there is really, really no growth. We grow in relationships and we grow when we are challenged. We grow when things are different from what we know, things are difficult, things push us out of our regular comfort zone, push us to a new skill, a new way of being, a new way of saying or doing. Now, if we hang out with the same people and we hang out with people who are just like us and we engage in the same kinds of conversations, we talk about the things we like to talk about, and we avoid people who are different from us. We don't put ourselves in situations that are uncomfortable. We are not going to challenge ourselves to grow in any way. So it's important to be curious about something that makes us uncomfortable, because in that moment of discomfort or in that person who's triggering the discomfort is a real opportunity to grow. Now, let's talk about what you can do when you are triggered. So, the first thing you need to do when you're triggered is tune into what's happening in your solar plexus. The solar plexus chakra is where you feel this pulling away, this pulling back when you encounter something that creates a sense of revulsion in you. So first, drop into your body, locate the feeling in your solar plexus area. Number two, say to yourself, I'm not going to avoid this person or situation just because it's creating some discomfort for me. In other words, force yourself to stay there and be with the discomfort. Anytime we can be with a sense of discomfort, we are allowing ourselves the opportunity to self-challenge. And when we self-challenge, we are able to grow. We are putting ourselves in that place where something feels distinctly uncomfortable. We want to pull away, we want to run, we want to disappear, but if we just stay with that feeling, if we just stick around and see what is it that is creating this discomfort, there could be a real opportunity for you to learn something about yourself. And number three, remain open to the message from the trigger. That's the third thing you need to do. Remain open to the message from the trigger, because anything that is triggering us is telling us something about ourselves. At the end of the day, everyone is a mirror to us, right? So when we judge something in somebody else, chances are they're forcing us to look at something that is in the shadow side of our personality. And the shadow side of our personality is simply something we don't want to look at, we are unwilling to look at, that we push away. This is why it is being triggered. When someone is triggering you, they're offering you the opportunity to bring into the light of awareness that which you're not willing to look at. So the three things you can do when you are triggered, if you want to create more self-awareness, if you want to know where you are being triggered, number one, tune into the feelings in your solar plexus area. Number two, say to yourself in your mind, I'm not going to run away from this person or this situation just because it's creating some discomfort for me. And number three, open to the message that the trigger is bringing to you. I hope this was useful. I wrote an entire newsletter about this, which went out just today. If you'd like to remain connected to me and receive these newsletters, the best way to do it is by signing up for my free PDF on 10 gentle ways to beat brain fog while you're grieving. You can click the image on the banner right above this video, and it will take you to a page where you can download the PDF. It's completely free. It gives you some ideas, 10 different ideas on gentle ways to deal with brain fog when you're grieving. And when you sign up for the PDF, you also get automatically put into my system, and you will receive a newsletter which I typically send out every Thursday morning. Today's newsletter was an expanded version of what I just spoke to you about triggers, why triggers happen, how a personal experience in my life awakened me to a trigger that I hadn't even been aware that I was carrying. I thought I had healed it, but clearly I hadn't. So if you'd like to receive this information, simply click the link on the banner above. I hope this was useful. If you have a question about triggers, post them below. If you have a suggestion on how to deal with a trigger, also post that suggestion below. I hope you're enjoying these themed videos I'm doing for you every day. Tomorrow is Follow Your Heart Friday, so I will be back with a little idea, a little tip, something to take away on the topic of life purpose, following your heart, following your passions. Stay tuned for that. Until then, have a beautiful rest of your day.